Have you ever tried to not think about something? Try it right now. Whatever you're thinking right now, stop thinking about it. Hard. It's like that curious phenomena of getting a song stuck in our heads, right? It goes on and on and on like a broken record. And not only can we not turn it off, we can't even turn the volume down. The mind is not only thinking about one thing, a song. The mind is thinking about everything. The mind is going, like the ticker tape on Wall Street. It's been reported by popular media that the mind thinks over 50,000 thoughts a day, with more than half of those thoughts being negative. More than half are negative. We can tell our bodies not to cross the street when a car is coming, and it listens to us. So why can't we tell our minds to stop thinking unproductive, stressful thoughts and think the thoughts that we want it to think? It's really not difficult to know that we know that a healthy and strong body is so important. We know that. But even with a healthy body, we will not have a happy life if we have an unruly mind. Cognitive training today has become really mainstream, and that's terrific for our mental acuity. But what about the mind? Our mind is our most valuable resource for living our most important, purposeful life. We're not at the mercy of this stream of negative thoughts going to nowhere. Or more important, that thought that keeps us stuck from living the life that we truly desire. When I was a little girl, my life was chaotic and stressful. Both of my parents were alcoholic, and I never really knew which end was up. I felt alone, and I thought that the only thing that mattered was what I accomplished, what I owned, and what I looked like. I didn't think that I mattered. So my mind 24/7 told me, go get, go achieve, go do something, and you will be somebody. It didn't stop telling me that. So I worked until I finally made it. Then when I was a successful young businesswoman, I thought I would be happy. I thought I would be okay and that life would be good. I owned everything and had all the things that society told me that I needed to have to be happy. I had a car, I had a house, I had lots of clothes. But I was incredibly unhappy and very unhealthy. But my mind said, keep on going. Do it a little bit better this time. You will be happy, I promise you. But it didn't work out for me this way. A really cute guy actually, in my place of work, a person that I admired and respected very much, he came in to see me and he said, Barb, we are so excited about the job that you're doing. We really love the work that you're accomplishing. And by the way, personally, I can tell that you must love it too. You've put on some weight since you've been here. That comment changed my life forever. Every time I ate something, my mind said, you have to get rid of it. You're not good enough. And so I did. After 7 years of suffering with bulimia, I woke up one morning and checked myself into treatment. Now, bulimia is an insidious disease. But let's be honest here. We don't have to suffer from an addiction to know that the stresses of the mind are a heavy burden, to know that the stresses of life are a heavy burden on the mind. So in treatment, I learned a lot. I had therapy, I had friends, I learned to take mindful walks. I took a bath for the first time in my entire life. My mind always said showers were so much more practical. But the greatest thing that I learned in treatment was how to sit with myself, how to be with just me. You know, when the lights were off, I was by myself. There was no television, no computers, no telephones. This was the 80s. So when dinner was over, we were in our rooms by ourselves. So I want you to ask yourself this question. When was the last time you did nothing? No driving, no texting, no talking on the telephone, no sending an email, no eating, no watching television, just did nothing. You know, our youth, our possessions, all our social connections, we think that these things will make us happy, and they do. But we also know that these things come and go. Our mind is with us for the entire journey. We cannot escape ourselves even for 1 second. People ask me all of the time, how is it that you were in recovery for 30 years? I reply by saying, I did it by sitting with myself, which is not at all easy. Sitting in silence with your thoughts can be brutal. Just the mere idea of staying can be incredibly uncomfortable. That first night in treatment, my mind was plotting and planning my escape. It kept telling me, you've made a terrible mistake, you have to get out of here. But one day rolled over to the next day, and little by little it got a little easier. And the thoughts were saying, you can do this. You have to do this. All you need to do is stay. Dogs know. So a pivotal moment came for me about 3 weeks into my stay. When I sat down with myself one morning, the thoughts were thoughts of, you are complete. You are loved. You are enough. Those thoughts are helping us bring in the reins of our own mind. The poet Mary Oliver asks us in The Summer Day, just tell me what it is you plan to do with your one wild and precious life. There are things that we're all driven to do, contributions we wish to make in the world and in our lives, and when we can learn to direct our minds, we can accomplish our most important tasks with meaning. One of my favorites, Viktor E. Frankl, wrote, between stimulus and response, there is a space. And in that space is the power to choose our response. And in our response lies our growth and our freedom. It is a true testament of the human mind that Frankl was able to find internal freedom while living in a Nazi concentration camp where his entire external world was completely out of his control. It is amazing that this one simple act can help us find that space, that freedom. When I left treatment, I went on this massive search to deepen my understanding of this. You might say that the world of mindfulness teachers became my laboratory. I went on over 100 retreats, and in the 90s I went on one with the Buddhist monk Thich Nhat Hanh. I showed up to sign in, and they said, for the entire week, we will be in silence except for the teacher. Just imagine that everything in the external world is coming into you, but nothing is going out. Every thought, every feeling, every experience has to get processed. In this sitting, I'm not saying that I am always happy, just ask my family, or that I never think negative thoughts. But what I am saying is that we can learn to discern which thoughts will hold us back or which help us take a step forward. Which thoughts are real and which are false. We can learn to trust ourselves completely and direct our mind wherever we want it to go. Recently, I heard someone say, the speed of my life is making me crazy, but I can't stop. If I stop, I'll fall behind and someone else will get ahead. This is a common fear, but nothing will happen until we find that space, until we change that thought and stop following those thoughts that are telling us that we will be left behind. We are not enough. So we sit to start the day. We collect ourselves. We collect this moment of thoughts. We take a look at them in a net. We see what is there. This helps us understand our language with ourselves and with others. I check my text messages and my emails before I push send. I kind of scan them. Likewise, we can scan our thoughts before they shape who we will become or what action we're going to take. And it's in this scanning of our thoughts that we're able to choose our response. When we sit, we notice the breath, each inhale and each exhale. By concentrating on something simple and concrete like the breath, we're quieting the mind. What will the first 5 minutes of the day do for you? I have discovered over the years that when I plug into me every single morning consistently, I have more balance. I'm more prepared when I go into the day. We plug in, we have more energy. I have more battery life. And when things start to get a little bit hectic in the day or stressful, I can plug back in. We can plug back in at any moment by taking a few deep breaths. In this sitting, we're not, we're quieting the mind. We're not silencing it. We're gaining a greater awareness of the thoughts that we're thinking. We're learning to live our lives from the inside out, from that internal source of power. Not feeling stressed and at the mercy of the external world's demands and expectations of us. A few years ago, a really good friend of mine went on a 21-day hike in Nepal. Halfway through, she got really sick and didn't think she could make it. The Sherpa said, "Can't go back. The only way to go on, to go forward, is we must go up the mountain." She really started to panic and wasn't sure what she was going to do. So at 11,000 feet, she sat down with herself. She started to notice her breath. She started to pay attention to a positive phrase. It's hard enough to be at this altitude and this hiking when you're healthy. So after a bit, she put one foot in front of the other, and she made it up the mountain. When she returned, she told me, had it not been for my years of sitting with myself, this discipline, this practice, I would have surely missed that once-in-a-lifetime view at the top of that mountain. This power of sitting is rooting ourselves in calm, positive thoughts. We're looking at what we're thinking. We're paying attention to those thoughts. Then we step into our lives and live the life that we choose to live. We're getting below the surface of the mind's chatter. Is this seat taken? Tomorrow, wake up and sit.